Hi, Year 11. So today we're going to go through your homework from last week, which was the shadow paper 1. Okay. I'm not sure we'll get through all this lesson, so can you just make a note of where you get to so you can ask your teacher next week to resume the recording from where we get to. Okay, hopefully we can get as much of it done as possible. If not, we can obviously finish it off next lesson. So question number 1. Okay, so if I can make this box a bit bigger, might be able to, hopefully we should be able to see as much of this as possible, save me switching screens. So we know the probabilities have to add up to 1. So 1 minus 0.4 equals 0.6, 0.6 divided by 2 equals 0.3. So each of the two boxes should be 0.3. Now it says there are 24 blue cubes in the box. So the probability of 0.4 is equivalent to 24 cubes. So probability of 0.1 would be equivalent to 6. I've divided by 4. So then probability of 1.0 would be 6 times 10, 60 cubes in the box. Okay. Question number 2. So 50 grams of sugar to make 15 biscuits. There's 3 times as much flour as sugar. So 3 times 50 is 150 grams of flour. And that makes 15 biscuits. Okay, Michelle's going to make 75 biscuits. So 75 divided by 15 is 5. And then 5 multiplied by 150 grams of flour is 750 grams of flour needed. Now, part B. Okay, the butter comes in packets of 200 grams. So she needs twice as much butter as sugar. So 2 times 50 is 100 grams. She needs 5 lots of 100 grams. So she needs 500 grams of butter. Okay, it's only sold in packs of 200. So 500 divided by 200 is 2.5 packs. So obviously we would have to buy 3 packs. So we're going to do the highest common factor of 84 and 144. So let's do our prime factor decomposition for both. 2 42s, 2 21s, 3 7s. Okay, those are our primes. 12 12, 3 4, 2 2, 3 4, 2 and 2. So now I'm going to do my Venn diagram. Okay, so this 2 is common with one of the 2's over here. This 2 is common with the 2 over here. 3 is common with this 3. 7's got no friends, so it comes over here. The 3, 2, 2 can all live over here. So we should remember that our highest common factor is the intersection, is the overlap. Okay, so my highest common factor is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3, which equals 12. Question number 4 says we have the plan front and side elevations on a centimetre grid. Okay, I notice the width is 4 and the height is 5, so the diameter of the circle is 4. Okay, it asks me to sketch a solid shape and give dimensions. So hopefully we can all see it should be a cylinder. The height is 5 centimeters, diameter is 4 centimeters. Okay, question number 5. Okay, a little bit tricky for me to do, but hopefully we can see where the shape gets reflected. It gets reflected to the coordinates 3 minus 2, 5 minus 2, and 3 minus 5. So this corner here, when translated, is going to go 7 left and 1 down. So C equals minus 7 and D equals minus 1. Okay. So question number 6. Okay, so let's have a quick read through question number 6. A shop sells packs of pens, black, red, and green pens. There are 4 pens in each pack of black ones, 5 in each red, and 6 in each green. Now the ratio of black to red to green sold was 7 to 3 to 4, and that's packs. So obviously I need to multiply the 7 by 4 to give me 28 black pens sold. Okay, then need to multiply the 3 by 5 to give me 15 red, and 4 by 6 to give me 24 green pens sold. So if I add those up, I get a total of 28 plus 15 plus 24 gives me a total of 67 parts. Okay, it tells me there are 268 pens sold. So 268 divided by 67. Okay, this isn't an easy division. So in my head, I'm doing 67 plus 67 plus 67 plus 67 is 268. Okay, so that gives me a 4. So 4 multiplied by our 15 for red is 60 red pens sold. Okay, so next question. Question number 7. Ooh, let's put that over there for a second. So QR is 20. So let me try and draw my rectangles. So A, B, C, D, P, Q, R, S. So QR is 20. BC, this length here, is equal to this length here. Okay, it says the perimeter of this is 52 and the area of this is 90. So 90 divided by my 20 gives me PQ to be 4.5. So we should then know this is 4.5. So this is 4.5. So 52 minus the total of 9 gives me 43. 43 divided by 2 gives me 21.5 centimeters. That's the length of AB. Okay, so question number 8. Work out an estimate for root 64.2 times by root 102.3. So using our third rules, root 64.2 multiplied by 102.3 is the same as root 64.2 times by root 102.3. Well, 64.2 is roughly 64. 102.3 is roughly 100. Square root of 64 is 8, times by square root of 100 is 10. So my estimate is 80. Now, 2.4 to the power of 6 is 191 to 3 significant figures. Okay, so 0.24 to the power of 6. Well, 0.24 is 2.4 divided by 10. So if I'm doing that to the power of 6, I'm dividing by 10 6 times. So I've got to divide this answer by 10 6 times. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to put 0.000191. So that's the answer to part B. Part C says 4 to the power of minus 2. So the negative gives you the reciprocal, so it's 1 over 4 squared, which is 1/16. So 4.5 multiplied by 1 4/5. So they are mixed numbers. So we don't like mixed numbers for multiplication, so let's turn them into top-heavy fractions. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 over 2. Multiplied by 1 times 5 plus 4 is 9 over 5. Now I can just multiply numerators. 81 over 10. Give them 2 times 5. Give your answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. So how many 10s going to 80? 8 with 1 10 remaining. And that obviously can't be cancelled down any further. It's in its simplest form already. Okay, the graph with the equation 16y plus 2x equals 193 over 2, and 15y minus 19x equals 24 having given on the grid below. Use the graph to find estimates solutions for the simultaneous equations. So we are looking for where they cross. So when I look to see where they cross, the x value is 0, 1, 1.5. So x equals 1.5, and my y coordinate is 3.5. Okay. Do not try to solve the simultaneous equations algebraically. Use the graph. Okay. So a bus company has recorded the ages and years of people on a coach, A and B. Here are the 23 people on coach A. Find the median. So if there's 23, 23 plus 1 is 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So the 12th piece of data is the median. Okay, now thankfully they are already in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So my median is 58. Then I want my lower quartile, my upper quartile, my least, and my highest age. So the least and the greatest are given to you. My lower quartile. So if there's 24 bits of data, 24 divided by 4 gives me my 6th piece of data is my lower quartile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 53 is my lower quartile. My upper quartile will be 6 from the top end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 67. Or 6 multiplied by 3, because it's 3/4 of the way up, is the 18th piece of data. Either of those two methods are fine to find the upper quartile. Either come the 6 down, or do 6 multiplied by 3, because it's 3/4 of the way up, is the 18th piece of data. If we were to check 18th piece of data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I still get to that same answer of 67. So it says the data for coach B. Percival says that the people on coach A are younger than the people on coach B. Is Percival correct? You must give a reason for your answer. Well, when I look at the medians, the median for coach A is 58 compared to a median of 70. Okay, so that would imply to me that the middle person, the middle value is lower for coach A. So you could say yes, as the median for coach A is lower. Okay, the minimum age for coach B is 42 compared to a minimum age of 41. Okay, the greatest age for coach B is 85 compared to the greatest age of 81. So this would imply to me, because the minimum age is lower, the greatest age is lower, but the median is considerably lower, then yes, Percival is correct. Okay, Percival says that the people on coach A vary more in age than the people on coach B. Is Percival correct? So the range for coach A is 81 minus 41, which is 40. The range for coach B is 85 minus 42, which is 43. The ranges don't vary massively. Okay, the interquartile ranges for A is 67 minus 53, which is 14, and the interquartile range for B is 73 minus 54, which is 19. Again, not that big a difference. So you could say that coach B varies more than coach B. So no, Percival is not correct for that one. Sorry, I just misread the question for a second. Okay, so let's move on to question number 12. Okay, spheres P, Q, and R. The volume of Q is 150%. It's more than the volume for P. So if I say the volume for P is 100, the volume for Q will be 250. 100 plus your 150%. Okay, and we've got R at the end. The volume for R is 50% more than the volume for Q. So 50% of 250 is 125. 250 plus 125 is 375 for R. Sorry. Okay, find the volume of P as a fraction of the volume for R. So P over R is 100 over 375. Doesn't ask you to give it in its simplest form, so that is perfectly fine. Okay, if you wanted to cancel it down, 25s into 100 goes 4, 25s into 375 goes 15, I believe, 4 15ths. But please don't cancel down unless it asks you to do so. Okay, so 13, n is a whole number. Prove that n squared plus n plus 1 squared is always an odd number. So we've got our n squared, and then we've got our n plus 1 all squared. So n plus 1 multiplied by n plus 1 gives me n squared plus n plus n plus 1, which is n squared plus 2n plus 1. So this now becomes n squared plus n squared plus 2n plus 1, which is 2n squared plus 2n plus 1, which is 2 lots of n squared plus n plus 1. So this is even, as it's a multiple of 2, and this is odd, and an even plus an odd is always plus an odd always equals odd. So therefore we've proven that it will be an odd number. So question number 14. Find the exact value of tan 60 multiplied by sine 30. Okay, so sine 30 equals 1/2 tan 60. Now if we can't remember these, we're going to have to work them out. So tan is sin over cos. Okay, so sorry, pardon me. So sin divided by cos equals tan. So sin 60 is √3/2. Cos 60 is 1/2. √3/2 divided by 1/2 is √3/2 times by 2/1, which equals √3. So tan 60 is √3. So √3 times by 1/2 is √3/2. So question 15. The diagram shows a solid shape. The shape is a cone on top of a hemisphere. Okay, so it gives you the formulae. Volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, and volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. The height of the cone is 20. The base of the cone is 12. The hemisphere has a diameter of 12. The total volume is k pi centimeters cubed, where k is an integer. Work out the value of k. So volume of the cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. 1/3 pi r squared h. So here my radius is 6 times by 6 squared times by my height of 20. So that's 1/3 times by pi times by 36 times by 20. So 1/3 of 36 is 12. 12 times 20 is 240. So that volume is 240 pi. So the volume of the hemisphere, well, the whole cone is 4/3. So a hemisphere will be 2/3 times by pi times by my radius of 6 cubed. So 2/3 times by pi times by 6 cubed is 216. 216 divided by 3 is 72. 72 times by 2 is 144 pi. So the total volume is 240 pi plus 144 pi, which equals 384 pi. So k is equal to 384. Okay, so question number 16. So each of the combinations can be the numbers between 1 and 6. Okay, so there's 3 numbers. So for the first number there's 6 possible outcomes. For the second number there's 6 possible outcomes, and for the third number there's 6 possible outcomes. So give me a total of 216 possible outcomes. Okay, how many of the possible 3-digit numbers have 3 different digits? Okay, so let's have a think about this one. Okay, so for the first digit, there's 6 possible outcomes. Now we've used one of those up, so the second digit there's only 5 possible outcomes, and then we've used 2 digits up, so there's only 4 possible outcomes for the third one. Let's give you a total of 120 possible outcomes. Okay, So for question number 17, given that x squared, the ratio of x squared to minus 2x plus 12 equals 1 to 2, find the possible values of x. So let's think about this as x squared over minus 2x plus 12 must equal 1/2. So let's multiply the 2 up to this side. 2x squared over minus 2x plus 12 must equal 1. So then 2x squared must equal minus 2x plus 12. So it's starting to look a little bit like a quadratic. So let's take everything to the left-hand side. 2x squared plus 2x minus 12 equals 0. So I notice that everything can be divided by 2. So x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Factorize x, multiply together give you a negative, must be a positive and a negative. Add together give you a positive, the positive number must be the bigger number. So x equals minus 3 or x equals 2. So question number 18, root 2 plus root 18. So I want it as a root 2. So root 18 equals root 9 root 2, which is 3 root 2. So now I've got a root 2 plus 3 root 2s, which equals 4 root 2s. Part B, express 1 over root 2 to the power of 9 in the form of root something over c. Okay, so 1 to the power of 9 over root 2 to the power of 9. Well, obviously the numerator is going to be 1. The denominator is going to be, well, root 2 times by root 2 is obviously 2. Root 2 times by root 2 is obviously 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. Root 2 times by root 2 is 2. And I've got a root 2 left over. So I've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2, 4, 8, 16. 16 root 2. Now we don't like a surd on the bottom, so we've got to rationalize it. Let's multiply top and bottom by root 2. So I have root 2 over root 2 times by 1 over 16 root 2. 1 times root 2 is root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2, times by 16 is 32. Okay. So question number 19. Given that x squared minus 8x plus 1 equals x minus a squared minus b, for all values of x, find the values of a and b. So what does this start to look like? It looks like we've completed the square. So x minus 4 all squared, I get an extra 16, so I've got to subtract that, plus 1. So that equals x minus 4 all squared minus 15, where a equals 4 and b equals 15. Hence, write down the coordinates of the turning point. Okay, so the turning points will be when x is 4 and y is minus 15. 4 minus 15. Okay, so obviously the lowest value of this bracket will be 0, because obviously a negative number squared still gives you a positive. So the lowest this expression here can take is 0. That happens when x is 4. And when this bracket is 0, this whole expression becomes minus 15. Question 20. H is inversely proportional to P So h equals some constant divided by p. P is proportional to the square root of t. So p is equal to some other constant, constant 2, times by the square root of t. Given that h equals 10, t equals 196. Sorry, given that h equals 10 and t equals 196 when p equals 7, find a formula for h in terms of t. So, when h is 10, some constant divided by 7, so 70 equals k. So on this side, h equals 70 divided by p. On this side, when t is 196, p is 7, so 7 equals this second constant times by square root of 196. So 7 equals the second constant times by square root of 196 is 14. So k2 is a half. So p equals a half root t. So substitute this p in here. H equals 70. So that should say root t, not root 2. A half root t. 70 divided by a half is 140 over root t. So h equals 140 divided by root t. So question 21. Okay, we haven't quite got to part A yet when doing our functions. We'll come on to that later on. But f to minus 1 of x. So we know that f of x equals 3x minus 2. So imagine that says y equals 3x minus 2 and make x the subject of the formula. So y plus 2 equals 3x. So y plus 2 divided by 3 equals x. So f to the minus 1 of x is change this y into an x plus 2 over 3. Okay, so it's just this part here, but change the y to an x. Okay, now part B. Given that f of g of x equals 2 lots of g of f of x, show that 15x squared minus 24x plus 8 equals 0. So we know that g of x equals x squared plus 2. We know that f of x is equal to 3x minus 2. So f of g of x is equal to 3 lots of x squared plus 2 minus 2, which equals 3x squared plus 6 minus 2, which is equal to 3x squared plus 4. So that's the left-hand side done. And the right-hand side says 2 lots of g of f of x. So that will be 2 lots of, we're going to replace the x here with 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2 squared plus 2, which equals 2 lots of 3x times 3x is 9x squared, minus 6x minus another 6x is minus 12x plus 4 plus 2, which is 2 lots of 9x squared minus 12x plus 6, which is 18x squared minus 24x plus 12. So the question says that these two are equal to each other. So 3x squared plus 4x must equal 18x squared minus, sorry, 3x squared plus 4 must equal to 18x squared minus 24x plus 12. So let's take the 3x squared away. So I have 4 equals 15x squared minus 24x plus 12. Take the 4 away, 0 equals 15x squared minus 24x plus 12. That's what we were asked to show. Except obviously that shouldn't say plus 12, that should say plus 8. Okay, which is why it's important to quickly check through your answers. So now it's the final question, question 22. There are red counters and B blue counters. There's R red, B blue. So that's a total of B plus R. Okay. A counter is taken at random from the bag. The probability the counter is blue is 4/9. So number of blue over the total must equal 4/9. Okay, so if we rearrange this, we could have 9B is equal to 4 lots of B plus R. Just multiplied the 9 over to this side and the B plus R over to this side. So 9B equals 4B plus 4R. So 5B's equal to 4R. Okay. The counters put back in the bag. 6 more red counters and 9 more blue counters are put into the bag. A counter is taken at random. So that means that there are now R plus 6 red counters and B plus 3 blue counters, which means there's a total of B plus R plus 9 counters in the bag. So now it says the probability of taking the blue counter is 5/12. So B plus 3 over B plus R plus 9 equals 5/12. So in the same way, let's multiply the 12 up to this side and the B plus R plus 9 up to this side. 12 B plus 3 must equal 5 lots of B plus R plus 9. So 12B plus 36 must equal 5B plus 5R plus 45. So let's take the 5B away. 7B plus 36 equals 5R plus 45. Let's take the 36 away. 7B's equals 5R plus 9. So now I've got two simultaneous equations. 5B equals 4R and 7B equals 5R plus 9. So let's multiply this top one by 7 and this bottom one by 5. So I'm going to have 35B equals 28R and then 35B equals 25R plus 45. Okay. So now these two bits must be equal to each other. 28R equals 25R plus 45. So 3 R's equal 45. So R must equal 15. Okay, so we'll substitute the R equals 15 back into this equation here. So 5B's must equal 4 times 15. 5B's equals 60. So B equals 12. Okay, so 12 blue and 15 red to start with in the bag. Okay, so find the original number of red counters in the bag, 15. Okay, so that is the exam paper completed. Give yourself a mark out of 80. Also, you need to have added up your dough marks. Okay, excellent work, guys, and I shall speak to you soon.